favorite talks to give is based off of a children's book I read with my kids a while back. The book is Oh, the Places You Will Go by Dr. Seuss. And there's a ton of wonderful information. That book is so rich. But I was reading it with my kids, and when we came to this quote, we stopped and talked about it. Fame, you'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. And alone, all alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. So we use this as an opportunity to talk about loneliness. We read this book right before I was about to go to Turkey for a 1-year remote assignment, which means we were going to be separated for a whole year. Right? So loneliness is definitely one of the emotions that we were starting to feel. So we talked about loneliness, which according to my 6-year-old, loneliness is when I make him go to bed before he's ready to. And he has to lay there awake, waiting. So that's a pretty good definition of loneliness. Now, since I can't shelter my kids from ever becoming lonely, I tried to give them a couple of pointers about how to navigate through that season and try to make the best of it. And the first one is this. It really helps to remember that loneliness is a life season. It's not a life sentence. It's a big difference. It's not a life season. It's a life season. It's not a life sentence. If you think in your own history, right, you look back in the rearview mirror of your life, you're going to see other lonely seasons of your life that eventually came to an end. They didn't pass as quickly as you wanted them to, for sure, but eventually they did. And because of that, I mean it when I say about this lonely season that you're in right now, this too will pass. It will. Now, that's not me saying it's okay, it's no big deal. Right? The truth is, loneliness is not okay, loneliness sucks. But it will be okay, eventually. That's an important thing to remind ourselves. The road you're on right now is not a dead-end road. It's just a road that will take you to another road, that will take you to another road, and eventually those roads will help you emerge out of this lonely season. Which brings me to my next point. When you emerge out of this lonely season, you're going to have a story to tell. Right? Ask yourself now, what story do I want to tell? When I have enough emotional distance from this dark, lonely season that I can talk about it again, how do I want to be able to talk about it? What do I want my story to be? Now, whether I've met you or not, I know that what you don't want your story to be, is some version of I made a bad situation worse by making a few bad decisions or drinking myself into the carpet or whatever. Nobody wants that to be their story. What we want our story to sound like is, well, what every good story sounds like. Right? It's got difficulty and hardship and hard decisions and endurance. Right? We want our story to be, it was hard, and then it got worse. But somehow I made it through. And here I am, I'm still vertical. I got through it. That's a good story. All right, I'll close with this. As your chaplain, I want to encourage you by telling you that you are not unique. You are not unique, you are not special, and that is really, really good news. We tend to make a bad situation worse by assuming that what we are going through is so uniquely bad that nobody else could possibly understand the depth of our pain. Right? And so we isolate ourselves even further because nobody could get it, nobody could understand me. Well, that's just not true. Right? We're all humans and we're in this together. Find someone to talk to and lean on, because you're going to be able to find somebody who has gone through something similar to what you've gone through. Right? Let them kind of lighten the load and help you go through this together. You're not unique, and that's really good news. Go find a fellow human and get through this lonely season. Thanks.